Hi, Mr. Cullip here, and in this video we're going to give you a quick rundown on how to assemble your clarinet. When you open up your case, you're going to see that there's several parts in there, and we're going to start assembling our clarinet starting at the top and working our way down. Now the first piece I'd like you to take out of your case is your mouthpiece. Now you'll notice that your mouthpiece has this cork that goes all the way around the rim. In order for this cork to fit nice and smoothly into your instrument, you're going to need to put a little grease on it. Now in your case, you should find a little tube that looks like this. Kind of looks like a tube of chapstick, but it's not chapstick, so you don't want to put this on your lips. Alright, so your cork grease might look something like this, or you might also have one that comes in a little container like this. And in this case, you'd have to open it up and then apply it with your finger, but this cork grease is much easier to use. So you're going to take your cork grease and you're going to put some cork grease a little bit all the way around the rim of your cork on your mouthpiece. And you can smooth it out with your finger or with a paper towel. And that is step number one. Then you're going to grab your barrel. Okay, so you have your mouthpiece and you have your barrel. Now you'll notice the barrel, if you look at it, it's tapered a little bit so that there's a skinnier end on the top and it gets a little wider on the bottom. It's really hard to tell, but if you look at it carefully, you'll notice that the top part is a little thinner than the bottom. So then you're going to take your mouthpiece and you're going to gently twist your mouthpiece onto your barrel. So now you have a piece that looks just like this. Okay? Now you can put that down for a second. And you're going to take your next piece, which is your top joint. Now remember, from your parts video, the top joint is a little smaller than the bottom joint. So if you can't remember which one's which, remember that the top part is a little bit smaller. It's not quite as long. All right, so you're going to take your top joint, and you'll notice on your top joint, you also have a cork that goes around the rim on this end and also on this end. So you're going to take the time now to take your cork grease once again, and you're going to nicely grease both of those corks. And once again, you can smooth it out with your finger or with a paper towel. Then taking your top joint, okay, and then holding it, you'll see that there's a keyhole in the back, and there's 3 keys right here in the front. You're going to hold your clarinet just like this, and you're going to take your barrel and your mouthpiece, and you're going to lightly twist that on to your top joint. Just like that. And you'll notice on the back, so you have your back key. This is called your register key, and you'll learn about that later on. And here's your thumb hole. And you'll want your thumb hole and your register key, and if you follow all the way up, your mouthpiece and the opening of your mouthpiece should line straight up with that. All right. Now you're going to take your bottom joint, okay, and you're going to, this is the tricky part. You want to hold your bottom joint, and you kind of want to put your thumb over these 2 keys on the bottom that you'll see, and you want to hold it just like that. You want to be real careful not to bend any keys when you're putting your clarinet together, so you want to hold it just like that. And with your fingers on the top, you're going to put the top joint and the bottom joint together by lightly twisting it together, just like that, and checking to see that all your keyholes are aligned in a nice straight line. All right. Next, you're going to take, as you'll see once again, there's a cork on your bottom joint as well. So once again, you're going to take your cork grease, and you're going to grease that up nicely. And then you're going to take your last piece, which is your bell, and you're going to hold the clarinet once again from the bottom. And you're going to take your bell, and you're going to lightly twist the bell onto the bottom of your clarinet. And then once your clarinet is assembled, the last part you need to do is you need to take your reed, okay, And you'll notice the reed has, the back part is nice and flat, And the front part is a little curved, and you'll see that there's like a little cutout U at the bottom, or in the middle, I should say. All right, this is the part, the cutout part, that goes on top of your tongue, as so. And you want to get your reed nice and moist before you play. And then you're going to attach your reed. You're going to hold it with your thumb, and you want to line up your reed. So if you can see that, your reed is aligned and it's perfectly level with the top of your mouthpiece. You don't want it sticking up above it, and you don't want it way down below where you can see a gap, but you want it nice and aligned straight across the mouthpiece. And as you're holding that with your thumb, you're going to take your ligature. Okay. Now remember, if you remember from the parts video, my ligature is actually made out of leather. The one you have in your case is probably going to be a silver metal. They both function the same way, but they just made out of different material. So you're going to slide your ligature on. And then I have one screw to tighten my ligature. If you have a metal ligature, your screws are going to be on the bottom, and you should have 2 screws that you tighten up to hold your reed onto your mouthpiece. And then there you have it. That is your assembled clarinet. Good luck.